Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Students Questions Time. My name is Sharif. I'm a third-year student at LSC and the Democracy Committee for the Students' Union, which means I'm going to be chairing this Candidates Question Time today. Today, I'm here with Tiago and Max, who are running for the position of LGBT plus officer. Thank you guys for joining me. I understand that it's quite difficult to separate yourself from everything that's happening out there and focus on this. So the structure today is going to be very straightforward. I've got a collection of questions here, but first I'm going to ask each candidate, starting in alphabetical order of first names, to give an opening statement of 30 seconds. Please do be within your time limit. When you have 10 seconds left, I'm going to do this. So make sure that you can see me, because when you see this, you only have 10 seconds left. If you go over your allotted time, I will cut you off, so please be aware of that. That's just so that we can make sure it's fair for everyone. Now, with that said, are there any questions before we start? Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Max, when you're ready, you can start your opening statement. And can I just ask everyone to mute their mics when someone else is speaking? Brilliant. Max, when you're ready.
Yeah, so my goal as LGBT officer is to create a more inclusive LSE that gives every member of our community a sense of belonging. I really care about our community here at LSE, and after having talked to as many folks as possible within the LGBT community at LSE, I've decided on 4 concrete actionable points we can implement to make this happen: creating an LGBT scholarship, increasing mental health support, fostering solidarity with vulnerable groups, and empowering LGBT folks in professional services. And I hope you join me on that mission.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Max. Apologies, 30 seconds does go by very quickly. Does. Do watch out for my warning. Thank you. Tiago, when you're ready.
Hi, my name is Thiago. I'm first-year student of social policy. I'm running to be the LSC as the LGBT officer. I'm coming from a country in which 23 hours, one LGBTQ individual is killed. I know how important it is to be safe and feel safe in our community, and that's what I want to bring to LSC. I have projects related to the community and institutional level, and I hope to talk with you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Tiago and Max. And with that, we're going to get started with our first questions. I'd just like to ask the candidates to mute their mics. If they'd like to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on you intermittently to answer the questions. It's just 2 of you. So if I ask Max to answer the first question, next question I'll ask Tiago first. Very simple, right? Brilliant. So the first question that we have today is, in your opinion, what are the challenges and difficulties that LGBT plus students at LSE face, and how will you seek to help them? You did mention this, both of you, in your opening statements. Max, would you like to start on this first, and then we'll go to Tiago?
Definitely. So I think there are a number of challenges that face our LGBT community here at LSE, and I think the key thing to realize is that folks within our community face challenges differently, simply because there are many different issues that are faced by diverse members of our community, and putting them under an umbrella would be unfair. I think being at a city university like LSE creates a more fractured community, and I think there needs to be a specific emphasis on mental health, on creating inclusivity, on creating shared events and solidarity within our community.
Brilliant. And apologies, 30 seconds does go by quite quickly. Tiago, when you're ready.
Well, I think we face a lot of issues that unfortunately I cannot talk in 30 seconds. But in general, I think we still have a lot of challenges related to safety within the LSE, issues about representation and feeling represented within the LSE community institution, and related to inclusion, not only on the modules and the courses, but also like in specific programs.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, both of you. Tiago, next question is first for you. So it's good to see that you're both running, but last Lent term, we didn't have any candidates for this position, so the position went empty for a while, as it seems you both know. Could I ask if either of you had any ideas why students might be disengaged and what you might do to sort of support that process? Tiago, if you'd like to go first.
sorry. So I do believe that because we don't have like representation, we don't see like LGBT staff, we don't see LGBT professors. I think the LGBT society is quite dead in a sense. So it's really difficult to bring everyone together and make sure that like it's something important and we care about it, and LSE cares about like LGBT issues. So I think that really like affects when people are running for this type of positions.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Tiago. Max, same question.
Yeah, so I think one of the key reasons for this is that our community at LSE is quite fragmented. We have wonderful organizations like the Pride Alliance, like the Spectrum Network, like individual positions like the LGBT officer, all of which are doing fantastic work, but are doing so on their own. And I think if we create a sense of visibility and a shared sense of belonging, which is really what I'm campaigning on, and a solidarity within our community, then people will feel empowered to step up, to get involved, and to be part of that shared community.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you both. The next is a follow-up from me. So I just heard you both talk about the importance of visibility and representation and how the society is quite fragmented. Could you talk more substantively about specific policies that you have to improve the situation? So Max, if you'd like to go first.
Yeah, definitely. So there are a number of different ways I would bring us LGBT folks together. First of all, I'm in close contact with the Pride Alliance, with the Spectrum Network, and being able to liaise between all of those different organizations and create events that go across those different spectrums. That's definitely a priority. But most of all, I obviously care about addressing the specific issues that the people in these communities face. And that's why I'm especially running on mental health, on an LGBT scholarship, and on professional services support.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Tiago, when you're ready.
Trying to address these problems with representation and inclusion. One of my policies is, of course, like creating campaigns. For example, like in February, at the History Month of LGBT, and we didn't heard anything about LSE or like LSE queer societies. So I went to work with the societies to make sure everyone knows that we exist. I'm also like working with other societies like sports societies and BAME societies to make sure that, sorry.
No worries. Again, it goes by very quickly.
Yeah.
Next question. How do you ensure that your approach, both of you, is going to be intersectional? Tiago, if you'd like to go first.
For me, it became like the way I was born. I'm not white, and I put this in my manifesto that the LGBT community is not only made by white gay men, that is like the representation. So for intersectionality, I want to connect with the BAME society, specifically the Asian South Society and African Caribbean Society, to make sure like we break the stereotype that gays are the only people in the LGBT community, specifically white men gays.
Thank you very much, Tiago. Max, when you're ready. Definitely. So I think this is about making an effort and making an effort to listen. Now I realize I'm a cis white gay male, so I'm in a position of privilege within this community. And this is exactly why, before drafting my manifesto, I've already reached out to all LGBT folks I knew at LSE to ask them about what issues they care about and to commit to being a constant dialogue with them. For instance, I talked to one member and she was like, hey, let's do more events with the Interface Society. I'm like, great. This is exactly the kind of constant dialogue that is needed.
Brilliant. Thank you both very much. Those were excellent responses on both sides. Next question is more of a general question we've been asking people. It's what your experience in student leadership has been and how you think that's going to make you a good candidate to carry out your policies and represent your liberation groups. Max, I believe you're to go first.
Yeah, so I'm really passionate about LGBT inclusion and empowerment. In fact, when I was in high school, when I was 14 years old, I founded my diversity committee, which pioneered discussions about LGBT inclusion and various other diversity topics. I volunteer regularly for the LT2020 Kennedy Trust here in London, the Homeless Youth charity. I'm the UK campus ambassador for undergrad, the professional recruiting LGBT conference. So all of those experience sets have instilled in me an understanding for how to tackle LGBT inclusion, and I would hope to translate that into LSE.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Max. Tiago, when you're ready.
Thank you. Related to LGBT issues and leadership skills, I found my own organization that focuses on Brazilian students that want to come to the UK to have a better life and better education. Besides my own organization, I'm also head of communications on the Social Policy Society, and I'm also involved in the Brazilian Association Society, and I'm also involved in societies about the home office.
Brilliant. Thank you both. Now, next question is our last question, actually, because we're quite short on time. We've been asking this of other candidates as well in general. If you had to come up with a phrase, not just a sentence, but a phrase that best sums why you're the best campaign slogan, etc., but a phrase that best sums.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I don't know if it's me or you, but the audio is cutting off. Would you be so kind to repeat?
Okay, thank you for telling me that, actually. Jen or Jazz, could I have help with the last question?
Hi there. If you want me to read it out. One moment. Chat. Brilliant. So this question is, if you had to summarise your position and candidacy in one phrase, apart from your slogan, what would it be?
You can have some time to think about that. It's not too much. So when you're ready, just go for it.
Just a question. We just say the phrase, or should we explain?
Just go for it, and you can explain it as well.
Okay. Make LSE queer again.
Okay, brilliant.
Empowered to belong would be my phrase. It's different from my manifesto, but this understanding of if we really care about the issues of every single member of our community, empower them to be seen, empower them to be heard, then this will create a community of inclusivity and of belonging, which we all want to be part of.
That's fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you both so much, and thank you those at home watching this. It's a tough time out there, so please do take care. Best of luck to both candidates, Tiago and Max, in your campaigns.
Thank you.
And yeah, best wishes. See you guys later.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.